just come back after the second round, which was today, and I was playing an AIM called Akram Bake 1820. It was a game which was an interesting opening, and he got uh, into trouble right in the opening. He was the one who threw the surprise, but then he got into opening trouble. So let me show you the game. I played e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6. So he played the Petrov, I took, and here he surprised me with knight takes pawn. Normally they play d6 and then they take, right? He took directly. Now, of course, queen e2, queen e7. The idea is after takes d6, I'm not winning a piece. I'll be up a pawn, but there will be some pressure on the weak pawn. Here, actually, I can take with the pawn itself. The best idea here is taking with the pawn, knight c6 and just knight c3 is the right better option. Because now takes, knight b5, king d8 and bishop b4. Sorry, bishop, king d8. Now what is the best option? Bishop f4, f6, or what other option is there? He can play bishop b4 first. Bishop b4, if I play c3, he plays bishop a5 and defends the pawn. So I'll play bishop d2, takes, and king d8. This is the best option for white, but I played queen d5. He went for the exchange and then he plays bishop f5. I played c3 and now knight d7. So this pawn is gone almost. If I want to defend it, I'll have to play f4, which would be weakening my structure. I mean, my too many weaknesses over here. Even bishop e4 is a bit uncomfortable. So I didn't want to do that. So I played bishop f4, castles long, knight d2, and rook e8. That pawn is gone, right? I played knight f3, but then pawn f6. Here I castled long. He played g5. This was a mistake. So he should have just taken back the pawn. Takes. I would play something like bishop e3, and then he can play bishop c5 or pawn b6 or a6, and the game goes on equal position. I have a small target on e5, so slightly comfortable for me, but very much playable for black. But then he made the mistake of playing g5. Probably he thought it just a pushing of the bishop, but then the a pawn is actually hanging because b6 is not possible after takes because bishop a6 check comes. So that is why here he played knight into e5. So what else could he have done? After g5, bishop e3, he's already in trouble. He played knight e5. Okay, that is fine. I'm a pawn up. I took on a7. I should have actually taken with the knight here first. I didn't want to go for this position, rook a5 position. I thought my king would be in trouble, but actually it is fine because I can just move the bishop, and if rook a2, I can just play bishop d3. I'm just in time. Everything is in control. If rook check, king c2, and if bishop takes, then I can take on f6. So bishop takes, I take on f6. He saves his rook. Now what can I do? I just take. Wait, now. Oh, there's mate on d8 that I didn't see. Rook a1, and if he can't take because of mate. So I went for directly bishop takes pawn in this position. Instead of playing knight takes knight, allowing this line, I went directly for this. He should have played knight takes knight here or g4. But then he made a mistake. This was the move that cost him the game, I would say. He played bishop g4. Can you find out what is the reason this is a mistake? What can I do? I'm under pressure over here. If I play bishop e2, he will just take with the bishop, I suppose, or with the knight. And I'll have to take back here because the bishop's hanging. And if I take back, he'll take, and he'll play b6. That is the idea. But he missed that. I can actually play knight takes knight, which I played. The point being, if bishop takes, which is what he did, I played knight f7, saving my knight and attacking the rook. So if he saves his bishop, I'll take the rook. And if he plays something like rook g8, then I'll just take back here, and he still can't play b6 because of bishop check. So he played bishop a4, and now I took the rook. So I'm right now a piece up, but he played bishop e3. Rook e1 is interesting, but it doesn't do anything. After rook d1, there's nothing. His king e3 and everything is fine. Okay, he played bishop e3 and now I played b3. I could have also played knight f7, but b3 stops any rook d1 checks after rook e1. He played bishop c6, planning b6, by the way. Because of bishop a6, after that, there is bishop b7. So I played knight f7. Here I actually missed that he could play bishop a3, but it is still fine for me. King c2, rook e1. This is a move I did not expect. I thought he'll play b6 or bishop d5 or bishop e4. Even rook e1, trying to put pressure, trying to have some compensation for the piece. My knight is out of play. My bishop is also slightly in the corner, and this bishop and rook are undeveloped. So at first sight, it might seem like black is enough compensation, but the pieces are all going to come out easily. There is a pin here, but I could feel that this position was good for me. So I played b4, which was a slight mistake actually. What I should have done was, instead of b4, I can just play bishop back, stopping any b6. So bishop back, rook c1 was nothing to worry about actually. Rook c1 or rook a1, no problem. Just king d3, and if rook a1, what will happen? Just get the king out of there. I mean, I can play bishop f6. So this was okay. I played b4 to make space for the king and to have ideas of trapping the bishop in some lines. But then again, I missed something, which still turned out to be fine. He played bishop a4, which I had missed. Now there's some checks, but I realized that my king is actually safe because I can just go up. I can still go to f3, only move, and now h5. So this was like a small trap. I mean, he's allowing me to play bishop c4. If rook takes rook, bishop e6 is mate. But I played bishop c4. His idea was b5, which was again a surprise. But again, things are completely fine for me. I have to make some decisions here. I can either take here, he takes and bishop e2, which is losing because of g4. Can't do that. I'll have to move the king and he takes and he gets back his piece with a better position. So I can't do that. But I can also just play something like bishop e6. This was an option. Bishop e6, king b7, and then rook takes, bishop takes, and get the king in. This was one option. This I thought about for a while. What was the other option? Bishop takes b5 is losing. Can't do that. And the other option is takes, which is what I did. And then bishop takes, check, and king e4. I somehow felt that the dark squared bishop is more important to have in the position, which was the right evaluation. Now he takes the piece, but then it's double pawns, and my bishop is going to come back to an active square, and my pawns are all on dark squares, and my knight is going to come back as well. Actually, here I realize I'm completely winning because king f5. Now the pawn is gone. If he plays bishop b2, I'll just play bishop d4, and the pawn is still gone. He played h4, I took the pawn, and now bishop f4, I played g3, takes, and bishop d2, I played bishop d4. He saves his pawn, but then knight e5. Position is completely gone. He resigned here. Even though just 2 pawns down, the third pawn is about to fall after king f5. And there's only one target, which he cannot attack anyway. If he comes like this, I'll just push. And all the other targets are defended by the bishop. And king is too far away. So this was a nice win for me in round two. And the next round is in a few hours, like in 3 hours' time. So let me enjoy the win, celebrate the win, and see how the next round goes.